You're exhausted. You've worked a 10-hour day, yet somehow none of your major projects moved forward. You are busy, but your bank account certainly doesn't reflect the sweat you're putting in. Business strategist Dan Kennedy argues this happens because entrepreneurs treat their most finite resource casually. His philosophy is blunt. Time is money, and if you want to keep your money, you have to be absolutely ruthless with your schedule. Look at this funnel. You're likely pouring huge amounts of energy into the top, answering endless emails, tweaking a logo, doing basic admin. Kennedy calls this majoring in minors. You're spending high-value time on low-yield activities, choking off the actual revenue-generating work at the bottom. When you don't aggressively categorize your work, every tiny task demands equal attention, leading straight to decision fatigue. You need to divide your daily actions into 3 strict lists: what you are an absolute expert at, what you are average at, and what you are terrible at. Scaling your income starts with identifying which parts of your current schedule are genuine work and which are high-effort distractions keeping you from your financial goals. If you give yourself a week to write a proposal, it will take a week. If you give yourself an afternoon, it takes an afternoon. This is Parkinson's law. Work automatically expands to fill the time available for its completion. Modern productivity experts like Timothy Ferriss have built entire frameworks around this concept. Ferriss emphasizes that simply being efficient at trivial tasks is useless. True effectiveness comes from restricting your time to force high-impact results. Think about sports. In a football game, teams often score more points in the frantic final 2 minutes than they did in the entire first half. This visual shows why. Without a deadline, the vast majority of a project timeline is eaten up by idle work. To manufacture that end-of-game urgency, you have to use the squeeze tactic. Arbitrarily slash that deadline in half, or even by 75%. When the timeline shrinks, your brain abandons perfectionism and finds the absolute shortest path to a result. The time squeeze eliminates the excessive researching, the second-guessing, and the endless revisions that typically bloat a project. By understanding Parkinson's law, you realize a harsh truth. If you refuse to set a rigid, uncomfortable deadline, the task itself will simply rob you of your time. To stop that robbery, you need to know exactly what an hour of your life is worth in hard currency. Look at this equation. A highly focused working year, 40 hours a week for 50 weeks, gives you an inventory of 2,000 hours. Divide your target annual income by that inventory to find your baseline hourly value. Stop right here. Pause the video. Take your target yearly income, divide it by 2,000, and write that specific number down. Let's run the math. If your goal is $200,000 a year, your time is worth $100 an hour. If you want to make $1 million, that exact same hour must produce $500. When your target rate is $500 an hour and you choose to spend 60 minutes formatting a spreadsheet, a task you could pay someone $20 to do, you haven't saved $20. You have taken a net loss of $480. Once you see the dollar value on the clock, delegating the low-level tasks on your desk stops being a luxury for the rich. It becomes a strict financial necessity to protect your margins. Now that your time is protected financially, you have to protect it mentally using a technique called clearing the calculator. As you see here, trying to solve a new math problem with the previous numbers still on the screen creates a mess. Your brain works the exact same way. Carrying thoughts from your last meeting into your next project creates severe attention residue. Multitasking is a neurobiological myth. Every time you switch contexts between emails, calls, and deep work, you drain glucose from your brain, temporarily lowering your cognitive ability. You have to mentally hit clear before starting the next task. To eliminate that switching, you must engineer your calendar. Instead of leaving your day open to the demands of others, block off specific hours dedicated strictly to your high-value work. Treat this block as an immovable appointment with a crucial client, except the client is you. The target metric here is 0 unscheduled time. If there is blank space on your calendar, someone else will claim it for their own priorities. Your daily execution comes down to this specific sequence. First, calculate your hourly rate and eliminate any task below it. Second, apply the squeeze tactic to your deadlines. Finally, proactively block your calendar for only those top-tier tasks where you have genuine expertise. A structured, ironclad schedule signals a high value for your own output. Guarding your time forces the rest of the world to respect it as well.